Godzilla vs. Kong ended in a way that raised more questions than answers. In the final scene we saw Kong in the Hollow Earth, but how did he end up there when at the end of the movie, he could barely stand and was in the middle of a city? In this video you will discover what happened to Kong after Godzilla vs. Kong. Let's get started. Welcome to Nerds Insights, your daily portal for nerdy news. In order to keep you informed about everything that's happening, I need you to subscribe to the channel and enable notifications. This way you will be notified whenever a new piece of news comes out. If you also leave a like, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and let's get to the news. Godzilla vs. Kong is one of the best giant monster movies ever made. Despite having some post-credits scenes cut and some underexplored elements, nevertheless the main focus was to find out who would win in the clash between Godzilla and Kong. And the winner was Godzilla with a score of 2-1. After this battle and their joint victory against Mechagodzilla, we witnessed a moment of eye contact between Godzilla and Kong. Kong dropped his axe, and Godzilla returned to the sea. But what happened to Kong after that scene? In the movie we see Kong all battered and sitting against a building while Godzilla walks away. Kong remained in the middle of Hong Kong injured, but in the next scene he appears in the Hollow Earth as if nothing had happened. It didn't even seem like he had been on the verge of death a few months ago. Yes, I said months. Now, let's discuss and come up with a theory about how Kong ended up in the Hollow Earth and what happened between the scene of him sitting in Hong Kong and his arrival in the Hollow Earth. The first hypothesis is that Kong returned to the Hollow Earth through the same hole that Godzilla created in the city. However, this theory falls apart because we saw that Kong's temple no longer exists. It was covered in lava. Another theory suggests that Monarch, along with the governments, helped Kong find a new home. This could work, except Kong was severely injured after the battle. If they were to transport him by boat, it would take a long time to reach the entrance to the Hollow Earth, which is located in Antarctica. Therefore, we believe that Monarch has been taking Kong to one of their bases to take care of him. In fact, we saw Monarch alongside Kong in the Hollow Earth, which indicates some form of partnership between them. After recovering, they found a way to take Kong back to the Hollow Earth. Since there were no Apex aircraft available for this journey, they likely transported Kong by sea without interference from Godzilla. We should remember that Godzilla only attacked Kong because Kong was in Godzilla's territory. Now that they have settled their differences, such an attack would not happen again. So, they took Kong to Antarctica to enter the Hollow Earth. However, at that moment only Kong entered, and Monarch took some more time to reproduce the Apex ships to gain entry. They no longer needed Kong's assistance to enter because they already knew the way. When they arrived, they began studying the location, which is the scene we saw at the end of the movie. So after the battle, Monarch took care of Kong in one of their bases, escorted him to the entrance of the Hollow Earth in Antarctica, and only after some time did they also venture into the Hollow Earth under Kong's protection, as seen in the final scene of the movie. Do you think this theory makes sense? How do you think Kong ended up in the Hollow Earth after the movie's ending? Share your thoughts, and of course, subscribe to this channel. I need your support here so that I can come back every day and keep you informed about everything happening in the nerd world. We're in this together. Take care, and until next time.